Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, uncovered a truth about love that most people ignore. The words someone uses reveal the hidden shadows of their psyche. And if a man says these 4 specific things to you, it's not just a red flag, it's a warning from the depths of his unconscious. Pay attention, because your emotional survival may depend on it. Relationships should uplift us, not drain us. But how do you know when someone is subtly harming your mind and spirit? According to Carl Jung, our deepest wounds and fears play out in the way we communicate. The wrong words can signal emotional manipulation, unresolved trauma, or even toxic control. Jung's work on the shadow self teaches us that people who refuse to confront their darkness often project it onto others, especially in relationships. So today, we're diving into 4 phrases that, when spoken by a man, should make you walk away immediately. These aren't just hurtful comments, they're psychological traps. Let's break them down, so you never fall into them again. When a man tells you, "You're too sensitive," he isn't just brushing off your feelings, he's revealing something far deeper about his own psyche. Carl Jung taught that dismissing emotions is a classic sign of shadow repression. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, our fears, insecurities, and unresolved pain. When someone habitually minimizes your reactions, they're not just being callous, they're projecting their own discomfort with vulnerability onto you. This is more than mere insensitivity, it's emotional gaslighting. By labeling your feelings as an overreaction, he's subtly training you to doubt your own inner world. Over time, this erodes your self-trust, making you question whether your emotions are even valid. The moment you hear this phrase, pay attention. It's a red flag signaling his unwillingness to take responsibility for his impact on you. The solution? Firm boundaries. Call it out directly, "My feelings are real," and dismissing them won't make them disappear. If the pattern continues, walking away isn't just self-care. It's an act of reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. Then there's the even more dangerous statement, "I don't need therapy, you're the problem." This isn't just deflection, it's the hallmark of an unchecked ego. Jung warned that true growth begins with self-reflection, and those who refuse to look inward are often the most destructive in relationships. By outright rejecting the idea of self-improvement while blaming you, he's revealing a profound emotional immaturity. This is more than stubbornness, it's a refusal to acknowledge his own role in conflicts, which traps both of you in a cycle of resentment. A healthy partner is willing to examine their flaws, but this kind of response shuts down any possibility of resolution. It's a dead end. The only way forward? Recognize that you're dealing with someone who would rather attack than evolve. You can't force someone to grow, but you can refuse to stay stuck with someone who won't. Perhaps one of the most insidious lines a man can say is, "No one else would love you like I do." On the surface, it might sound like devotion, but Jung's work on the anima and animus reveals the darker truth. This is possessiveness rooted in deep fear. The speaker isn't expressing love, he's revealing his terror of abandonment. By suggesting you're unlovable to others, he's isolating you psychologically, making you dependent on his approval. This is emotional manipulation disguised as a compliment. A real partnership empowers, not diminishes. If you hear this, it's critical to see it for what it is, a control tactic. The antidote? Reject the narrative. Remind yourself that love should never come with strings, or threats disguised as affection. Finally, there's the outright mind-bending phrase, "You're imagining things." When someone denies your reality, they're not just lying, they're revealing a fractured psyche. Jung believed that denying objective truths is a sign of deep unconscious conflict. By refusing to acknowledge what you clearly see or feel, he's forcing you to question your own perception. This isn't just frustrating, it's psychologically destabilizing. Over time, it can make you feel like you're losing your grip on reality. But here's the truth, your intuition is a powerful compass. Jung called it inner knowing, a wisdom beyond logic. If your gut tells you something's off, don't let anyone convince you otherwise. The moment someone tries to rewrite your reality, It's time to step back, because a relationship built on distortion will only leave you lost. Walking away from toxic relationships requires more than just physical distance. It demands a profound psychological shift. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your true, whole self, is the foundation for this transformation. When you've been conditioned to doubt your worth, breaking free means reclaiming the parts of yourself that were suppressed or denied. Individuation isn't about selfishness, it's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. A relationship that constantly diminishes you is not just unhealthy, it actively prevents your growth. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you betray your own potential. Jung taught that true wholeness comes from integrating all aspects of the self, including the strength to walk away when something no longer serves your highest good. This isn't abandonment, it's an act of fierce self-preservation. The moment you choose yourself, you align with your authentic path, and that is where real healing begins. Detaching from toxic dynamics requires shadow work, the often uncomfortable process of facing the hidden parts of yourself that keep you trapped in harmful cycles. Why do you tolerate what you know is wrong? Is it fear of loneliness? A subconscious belief that you don't deserve better? Jung believed that until we confront these buried wounds, we will unconsciously recreate the same painful patterns. Shadow work means asking the hard questions. What am I afraid will happen if I leave? What false narrative have I accepted about my worth? When you shine a light on these fears, their power over you weakens. Detachment isn't just about leaving another person, it's about freeing yourself from the internal chains that made you stay too long. This work is painful but necessary. Every step away from toxicity is a step toward the life you were meant to live. To rebuild after leaving, affirmations rooted in Jungian psychology can rewire your sense of self. These aren't just empty phrases, they're declarations to your subconscious, reinforcing the truth that was once distorted. Start with, I trust my intuition. My feelings are valid. This counters gaslighting's damage. I am complete on my own. Love should enhance, not complete me. This dismantles codependency. I refuse to carry what isn't mine. I release the weight of another's unresolved pain. This establishes emotional boundaries. Jung emphasized that words have power because they shape our inner dialogue, which in turn shapes our reality. Repeat these truths daily, even when they feel foreign. Over time, they become unshakable beliefs. Walking away isn't failure, it's the ultimate act of self-respect. And when you truly believe that, you'll never again settle for less than you deserve. The journey doesn't end with leaving, it begins there. Jung warned that until we face our own depths, we'll remain prisoners of patterns we don't understand. But when you dare to walk away, you do more than escape a toxic situation. You reclaim your right to a life of meaning, joy, and authentic connection. That is the gift of Jung's wisdom, not just survival, but true liberation. As we've explored today, certain phrases reveal deeper psychological red flags, signs that a relationship may be harming your spirit rather than nurturing it. When a man tells you you're too sensitive, he's dismissing not just your feelings, but your very reality. I don't need therapy, you're the problem exposes an ego unwilling to grow, while no one else would love you like I do, is not devotion, but control in disguise. And perhaps most dangerously, your imagining things doesn't just deny your experience, it seeks to dismantle your trust in yourself. These aren't just words, they're windows into a psyche that hasn't done the necessary work to love healthily. If any of these phrases sound familiar, hear this as your wake-up call. Walking away isn't failure, it's an act of profound courage. Protecting your inner peace isn't selfish, it's the only way to honor the life you're meant to live. Every step you take away from what dims your light is a step toward the love you truly deserve, one that sees you, respects you, and grows with you. Your future self will look back on this moment not with regret, but with gratitude for the strength you found when it mattered most. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you encountered these phrases in your own life? What was the moment you realized something wasn't right? Share your story in the comments below. Let's create a space where no one has to navigate these truths alone. Remember, you are not crazy, you are not too much, and you are absolutely worth walking away for.